Good evening to you and a warm welcome if you're just joining. We start with this. Advocate Muzi Sikhakhane pulled no punches as the Eastern Cape Judge President Selby Mbenenge's legal team continued its cross-examination of his accuser on Wednesday. Sikhakhane, representing the judge, poked holes on Makhanda High Court Secretary Andiswa Mengo's claim that power dynamics between herself and Mbenenge meant that she had to entertain messages from him. Back in 2023, Mengo lodged an official complaint of sexual harassment against Mbenenge with the Judicial Conduct Committee and has been on the witness stand before the tribunal looking into the matter since last week. Newzroom Afrika's Juniour Khumalo attended the proceedings today and he is in studio this afternoon to talk to us about that. Well, Junior, once again, good to have you here. Power dynamics, that's where at least some of the cross-examination centered on today. Explain to us a little bit more what came out today.
Indeed, Xoli. So last week and in the beginning of this week, when the witness, this is Andiswa Mengo, took to the stand, she spoke a lot about power dynamics and this having been at the heart of her entertaining some of those text messages from the Eastern Cape Judge President. Today, we did hear Advocate Muzi Sikhakhane trying to poke holes in that testimony, saying that there were really no power dynamics at play at the most, because given the sense that the Secretary of the Eastern Cape High Court is employed by the Office of the Chief Justice, she is not employed by the judge himself. So there is no fear of losing your job if you tell him that you cannot entertain these advances from him. But she did say that the way he used to carry himself in that division is what made her feel like she cannot ignore him or not respond to his text messages. Also, she indicated that the judges in that division have the right to move someone from one division or one high court to a different one if they are not happy with them. So she felt that to maintain that position in that Makhanda High Court, she had to entertain this judge. So that's part of what Advocate Muzi Sikhakhane was basically trying to poke holes in that testimony. But also we heard him talk a lot about how Ms. Mengo herself had misled or been dishonest to the court in terms of the omission that she did in the messages, the screenshots that she took. He was highlighting that some of the messages that you yourself sent to the judge were not, did not form part of the annexure that you filed in this court, in this tribunal, and this was meant to mislead the tribunal itself. Yeah. Ms. Mengo did agree that some of those messages were not filed, but some of those messages had been deleted, so she could not include them in that annexure.
So I guess some of what came out today, in a way, looked at her deciding to withhold some information and, in a way, almost a mirror of what we heard yesterday, where the advocate went in very hard to suggest that if you mislead this particular gathering or this tribunal, you know that you are essentially lying to the people that are gathered here. Indeed. So has there been any explanation on her part for why she has decided to withhold some of the information? Because Advocate Sikhakhane is not holding back on the elements about her almost encouraging this and
entertaining him, yes.
Exactly, entertaining him and not being explicit about saying, no, I'm actually not comfortable with this.
Part of her explanation was some of these messages had been deleted from the conversation between the two of them. So the manner in which the legal team representing the judge president had accessed them is through experts who went through the deleted files. That's how they accessed them. So she could not access them so that she can add them as an annexure. But also she has explained that she had no legal assistance when she was filing this witness testimony. Another thing that the advocate drilled on today was that there is some difference in terms of your witness statement that you submitted on the 12th of January 2023, as well as the testimony that you are giving today. In that witness statement, there's a point where when she says that on the 27th of June 2022, there was no conversation, 2021, there was no conversation between herself and the judge president. This is in the witness statement. But when she took the stand last week, she says that we had a conversation. So now the advocate was saying you lied under oath in one of the two instances, either in the written statement or in your testimony before this tribunal. So I think that also paints a picture of how she had no guidance when it comes to legal representation. She wrote that witness statement alone. Right now, she's being represented pro bono by the Women's Justice League. Unlike the judge president himself, he has 3 senior counsels in his legal team. He also wanted one of the judges in the Eastern Cape to be part of his legal team. So there's a lot of guidance there. There's a lot of assistance when it comes to putting together the statements of the two. But also another thing that they spoke about a lot was the picture, that explicit picture, the one explicit picture that the judge sent to her. With the advocate even saying that this explicit picture has caused a lot of embarrassment to my client. It has also gotten to a point where it almost broke his family. But it seems we can't find this picture in your phone or in his phone as well. So we will be bringing legal experts to this effect. And the other explicit picture that she also says she received from the judge, they were asking her, since it only shows his private parts, how do you know then that it is his private parts? But let's take a listen to how that exchange basically played out.
Ma'am, let me put the version of because this is the part that has embarrassed the respondent, this allegation, that he never sent you a picture depicting his private part.
Is that what he says?
That's what I mean by his version.
Okay. Okay.
Can I ask you to take us into your confidence and tell us why K8 reflects that time 9:05 what is the significance of 9:05 at the bottom of K8?
Is the time I had received this particular picture, and it is a screenshot of the picture as I've stated in my evidence in chief.
No, ma'am. I want us to be more truthful about this.
Advocate Sikhakhane holding nothing back, as we have been saying. And I presume that the Conduct Tribunal does continue tomorrow.
Indeed, it does continue tomorrow, and it looks like it might also continue into the weekend because we still have these experts. They say that they're going to bring experts who looked into the phones and tried to search the deleted images and all of that. So they are going to be coming, but we also expect an emoji expert who's also going to come in and talk about those emojis that were shared between the two of them and what exactly they mean. This is all before, I guess, the judge president himself takes to the stand. So we do expect that this is going to continue on until the weekend. If they don't manage to complete by the weekend, then it might even go on to May this year.
Sure. Juniour Khumalo, thank you very much for today. Juniour Khumalo watching the Judicial Conduct Tribunal looking into those allegations of sexual harassment against the Eastern Cape Judge President Selby Mbenenge.